بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. After the 10 qira'at, we have a lot of other qira'at, a lot, and the number could be about 60. Okay. The first, all of these are called non-conforming or al-qira'at ash-shadha. The word ash-shadha, shudhudh, is a term we hear in hadith science. What does shudhudh, which is the masdar, shadha is the ismul fa'il. What does shudhudh mean? Shudhudh means obscure, strange, not normal. And I'm translating it, interpreting it as non-conforming. They do not conform. Conform to what? The Quranic scholars list three conditions that must be satisfied. These qira'at do not conform to those one or more of these three conditions. If these three conditions are satisfied, then they are conforming, meaning that they are either mutawatira or sahiha. First condition is that it must be mutawatir for a qira'at to be considered conforming. So let me clarify one more time. When these three conditions are satisfied, then the qira'ah is mutawatira. And one of the conditions is that it has to be mutawatir, not just sahih, but mutawatir. So mass transmitted. And we looked at the definition of mutawatir a couple of times. Let's do a very quick 60-second refresher on the definition of mutawatir. Mutawatir is defined as a report that has the following characteristics: mass transmitted by so many people, so many narrators. It's impossible for it to be a mistake or fabrication. It's the most reliable and trusted source of information or news. And it's about an event that is witnessed by eyes or ears. And it's not something you find empirically, scientifically, or rationally. Those are also good, scientific and rational, also good. But mutawatir specifically is about a news report or an event that was eyewitnessed or witnessed by the ears. And there are over 30,000 hadith, out of which about 1, maybe 2% are mutawatir. Estimated number varies. Some say 300, some say more, some say less. What is our response to mutawatir? We accept it as absolutely true. Denying it is unacceptable. It leads to certainty, yaqeen. And in case of religious matters, it is kufr. So be careful. Don't reject anything that the ulama say is mutawatir. It's kufr to deny it or reject it. And of course, the 10 qira'at are mutawatira. It's impossible for there to be any mistake. So that's the meaning of mutawatir. So the first condition for a qira'ah to be conforming is mutawatir. It has to be mutawatira. If it's not mutawatira, then it's shadha. The second condition is that it must conform to the Uthmani codices. Al-Masahif al-Uthmaniya, the way the Mus'haf is written, the way we see it, it's perfectly preserved. It's exactly how it was written. Of course, they have added diacritics, they've added dots, and they've added tajweed markers, but the original skeleton of the word is still the same as, exactly the same as how it was written during the time of Abu Bakr, and even before that, during the time of Prophet ﷺ, it was written down by Zayd ibn Thabit and others. So we will revisit this topic because how the Mus'haf was written, the Mus'haf, al-Rasm al-Uthmani, the orthography, we will get into that inshallah in the next unit. And we will also talk about how Uthmani codices capture the qira'at. So if there's a qira'ah out there and it doesn't conform to how the Mus'haf is written today, but it can be traced back to a Sahabi who got it from the Prophet ﷺ, then the qira'ah is not a false or fake qira'ah. It's a non-conforming qira'ah. and it's there for educational purposes as well as other benefits that we will see. In fact, we've already studied the 10 benefits of qira'at, right? So the 10 benefits of qira'at we already saw. Let's quickly look at those. So this is something we did a while back, or just before the 10 qira'at, the types of qira'at. We looked at the 10 benefits of qira'at, and you can refresh your memory. It's for facilitation, for superiority, for greater reward, for extracting wisdoms. It makes it difficult to replicate or tamper with the Quran. It's security and multiplicity in meaning and tafsir. So all these amazing fawaid that we studied a while back are there for the qira'at. And it must conform to the rules of Arabic language. So the third condition that the scholars have put down is that it must conform to the rules of Arabic language, meaning that if there's a qira'ah that breaks the rules of Arabic grammar or morphology, then it's a shadha, non-conforming qira'ah. So if you apply these three rules, or if when the scholars apply these three rules, that's when we get a qira'ah mutawatira. If one or more of these rules is broken, then it's called shadha or non-conforming. The qira'at beyond the 10 canonical qira'at are all non-conforming because they break one or more of the above rules. And here they are. The first set of non-conforming qira'at is qira'at number 11 through 14. Ibn Muhaysin al-Makki, al-Yazidi al-Basri. So again, you can see Makkah, Iraq here again. Al-A'mash al-Kufi, Iraq again. And Al-Hasan al-Basri, Iraq again. And Al-Hasan al-Basri was a great scholar, great tabi'i. And there's an entire qira'ah that's going back to him, attributed to him. Of course, qira'at always come from the Prophet ﷺ. They have to be traced back to Prophet ﷺ. Nobody can just create a qira'ah of the Quran. So when you add the above 4 qira'at, these 4, 11 through 14, to the 10 canonical, then you get something that's called the 14 qira'at. And in Arabic, there are 2 ways to say it. You can say al-qira'atul arba'a ashra, or you can say al-qira'at al-arba'ata ashar, because of the grammar rules that determine the number and gender of the numbers, the gender of the numbers. There are 2 ways, grammatically correct ways to say it. Now, in spite of this amazing diversity, the qira'at are identical about 97 to 99% of the time in terms of the 4 linguistic categories. The 4 linguistic categories we will study, inshallah, that will help us further compare in a detailed manner how the qira'at are diverse, the beautiful diversity of qira'at. If you look at all the diversity, in spite of all that diversity, it's only 1 to 3% difference. So if somebody starts to create a doubt in your mind, oh, look at this, what are all these differences in qira'at? One of the arguments you could present to them is that, look, they're all 97% to 99% the same. So you're making a big deal about a very small, tiny percentage. That's one of the evidences that you can start with, but there are other stronger, more logical arguments that you can present. Now, Islamic scholars advise us that we should not perform our prayers, daily prayers, using any non-conforming qira'at. These qira'at are there for educational purposes, and they also serve as important data for linguists and Quranic commentators. Arabic linguists take advantage. I love the qira'at because they really help perfect my understanding as a linguist of the Arabic language, specifically the rules of sarf and nahu. And the invaluable linguistic data help us see history, how various Arabic Arab tribes used Arabic language, and it also sometimes becomes like a deeper understanding. It develops our vocabulary. Certain tribes used more vocabulary, certain vocabulary more, so you will see qira'at with certain vocabulary more. It helps us with understanding of tajweed, phonetics, elocution, sarf, nahu, and al-ma'ani. And there are many other benefits that have already been discussed in the 10 major benefits of qira'at. After the 14, there are dozens. And I started putting together a list of the qira'at that I found that are referenced in books of tafasir. And I came up with a list that's about 70. So if you include all the 10, the 4, plus the rest, the number reached about 70. If you're a lover of the qira'at like me, below is a list of some amazing books that I recommend. These are advanced books. They require very strong linguistic skills in sarf, nahu, and tajweed, and balagha also. As such, I recommend studying tajweed and completing at least the first 3 levels of the Quranic linguistics series, level 1, 2, and 3, before you study any of these books. These books are quite advanced, but they're amazing. And these two you can access online through tafsir.app. These you can find in bookstores, maybe even find a PDF online. So here are some key terms. Al-Qira'at as-sab'u is the top 7. Al-Qira'at al-thalath are the next 3, 8, 9, and 10. Al-Qira'at al-ashru, of course, the 10 canonical. The 14 Qira'at, again, there are 2 ways to say it. You can say Al-Qira'at al-arba'ata ashar, or you can say Al-Qira'at al-arba'a ashra. And finally, the non-conforming ashadha. And inshallah, in the next lesson, we'll look at a fake qira'ah that was caught and exposed. Somebody tried to fake a qira'ah, but it didn't take long for the great scholars to expose it. والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.